I wanna hear your thoughts. I wanna hear your sound. And mama always told me to shout and speak my mind out loud. Come on and talk when you got the time. Freedom, what you on the line. We wanna hear from you. You got it going. Let your voice shine. Platform yours is not just mine. We wanna hear from you. You got it going. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. You're gonna shine. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. You're gonna shine. Hey y'all, what's up? It's your boy Douglas, or you could call me Freedom. Welcome to my channel. This is episode 13 of my podcast. As y'all could tell, I'm in a different environment. I happen to be at my sister's house, but it's okay because the wall is given. Obviously, before we get started, make sure that you guys like this video, comment below this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel because you need me. I don't need to say it this time, but just in case, forgive my background. I'm gonna have some tea on the side because my allergies really been trying to kill me all week. So they've been really trying to take me out. I don't know what's in this new pollen. I don't know what's going on, but I had lost my voice a couple of days ago. I'm just now getting my voice back. So I'm definitely going to take it easy. Nevertheless, we have an awesome guest here today, and I cannot wait for us to get into some things. And without further ado, I think we could get into our segment. Hey y'all, we are in my segment, Freedom of Speech. I got a guest that I had last season back with me again. Everybody, please give a virtual round of applause to my girl, Janera. Janera, introduce yourself and, give your pronouns and just give a brief view of yourself for the people that don't know you or haven't seen you last season.
Hi, I'm Janera. Okay, my pronouns, unlike my name, my pronouns is she, her. I'm really just into elevating my life in general. And that's the stage that I'm in. And that is really what I want to promote. I want to promote people to be the best version of themselves internally and externally, outside and within. And and you can really create your dream life for yourself if you just upgrade yourself and in general. That's what I'm promoting. And that's the process I'm in for myself. And that's what I really want to be about. And yeah, that's really it.
I just wanted to say that, one, I'm glad to have you on here again. I know that you were out of town for a little bit, and I've been watching your story. No matter where you go, every time I end up physically meeting up with you, you have this energy about yourself that really it really throws out into the air. And it's every time I'm around you, your aroma, your energy, I could tell that you're a real centered individual. So, I just wanted to say, I just appreciate your presence, your overall presence. And you just
Thank you. Oh, Douglas. Douglas.
Moms.
Because I definitely feel the same way with you. So really interesting that you said that. I don't get excited to see a lot of people. I really don't. But when I see you in the building, I'm like, oh my God.
A little bit of hype.
Yes. It's Douglas. Yes. Yeah.
So for this Freedom of Speech segment for this episode, Janera has some questions for me, and I have some questions for her. The episode will just be us asking each other questions back and forth, playing a little truth game, how we kind of played in the other episodes. But this episode, I kind of wanted to center on it more, being that we always end up getting into some things.
Right. If there's one thing that you could upgrade about yourself, right now, instantly, if the universe came and said, we will work with you today to upgrade yourself, what would it be? What one thing would it be about yourself?
That is a good ass question. If the universe was to ask me, what is one thing I would like to upgrade about myself? I'm juggling between my body size and my voice. But you know what? I'm going to go with my voice. And the reason why is because as an artist, I always feel, sorry, hold on, I think I Okay, I thought I had the bird child. But as an artist, I always find that there's room for improvement. I'm not the best singer on the planet. I'm a damn good singer. I sang. Okay, but there's always room for improvement. You know, everybody's
Right.
voice is unique. And even in school now, you know, I'm going through a lot of like, you know, strict practices with my voice, warm ups and stuff like that. So I could perfect my voice, you know, with time. And it does also have to do with just like my age and puberty. You know, once I hit a certain age, I'll be at like that vocal prime period. But
Yes.
overall, I would say my voice, not my weight. I would have said my weight just out of like insecurity, but since my first episode, my girl Deborah, shout out to Deborah, she really helped me like battle a lot of my insecurities. So I'm not gonna say it totally went away, but I'm not as insecure about my weight anymore. But I would say that my voice is something that like if I had the power to just like upgrade and kind of give myself those knacks that I'm already practicing now to get, it would be my voice for sure.
Yeah, I definitely think you should choose your voice. Like, your body. I mean, I don't think there's nothing wrong with you. I think you are great. You look great, and I don't see why you would want to change that about your. Like, no, I understand though the whole insecurities part. Everybody do have them because myself, like even like me, I be having like insecurities or whatever else like that. Everybody have them, but I always like to like reassure people because I reassure myself that it's like this is how you were made, and I'm really just gonna appreciate the natural design. Like this is the final draft. This is the hard copy. Like, you know,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't like want to get my body done and then I get my body done and then I just don't feel myself in my body.
Yeah.
Like I would just
Just feel
hate
like out
that.
of place
But
in a way, you know?
yeah,
And that's the thing with me. So like when it comes to losing weight, it's not like I even said this in the first episode. Like when I mean the universe like give me my ideal body, I just mean like 100 pounds less than what I am now.
understood.
I love being plus size. Don't get me
Right.
wrong. Okay. There was never
Mhm.
a time in my mind I wanted to be like, no shame to anybody else that's doing it, working out to do it. But like there was nothing in my mind that made me want to be skinny. You know what I mean? Like I like being big. I like being big. It's just that I kind of just saw myself being 100 pounds lighter. And that whole, you were, before we even started shooting, you were talking about disciplining yourself and kind of like working on that. That is stuff that I have to do too in many aspects of, well, a handful of aspects of my life, but particularly when it comes to weight, you know, I don't discipline myself to go to the gym or eat less.
Yeah,
So,
me neither.
so I was like, well, you know, to save myself months of having to work out and, you know, discipline myself to eat, why not just let the universe let me lose a little bit of weight? But I was like, you know what? I feel like my voice is more important. You know what I mean? My voice is more important to me. And
Yeah, because your voice can help you make millions, inspire others, and you'll get the help that you since you'll have so much money, you'll be able to like go like go to the gym. You'll have time and everything.
because my sister gonna come in, she gonna start cooking and all of that. So
What's
trust
she
me.
making?
She's going to a barbecue today. So
Mm.
she's making, well, she just made mad because she's doubling it up because she's catering for one event. She's going to another. 2 sets of macaroni and cheese, 2 sets of macaroni salad. And then she's going to do like the rice, the meat, whatever and whatnot. But like I said, don't worry because she about to be on her way back at some point. Trust me, I know how your background. I know how it feels to have to.
Yes. Thank you.
This is not one of those things where it's all getting recorded at once. I couldn't even do that for myself. Okay,
Right.
definitely in
And
my house. It's
of
impossible.
course, it's organized and sophisticated because it's done by Douglas. Like done by. Has anybody ever called you Doug?
No, to be okay. So here's the real tea with me. I got a lot of nicknames. Okay, so like I get called many different things. My full name is Douglas Lamont Freedom Folk Jr. So some people they really feeling fancy because a lot of people like Lamont. So some people will just call
I
me
like Lamont too.
Freedom. I already use, you know, like musical alter ego, the Freedom Savage podcast, you know, stuff like that. But
Right.
for business purposes, Douglas is my stage name. But you know, in the hood and like our hood and stuff, I get called baby.
Oh
That's my
yeah.
family name. Yeah, that was the name my mom and dad gave me. So my family and everybody on our block and stuff know me and call me as Bebe. Like in school and stuff, and like, just outside of our neighborhood, I get called Douglas, For me, it's freedom. I've incorporated freedom into it, but my middle name is also Lamont. So people want to like call me Lamont here and there. I'm not against it. I have a million nicknames, child.
Yes, I know. I
Yeah.
love that for you.
How's your mental health been?
That's a great question since I'm a new mom or whatever like that. So it's like yes. Mental health has been like crazy, okay? Crazy. But I always give myself props because I'm always pulling myself out of any dark times. And I don't really I definitely do think therapy would be useful for me. But right now, I don't want to say like I'm my own therapist, but that's really how it is. Like the journaling and everything like that I do really just helps me. And when I go back and I read it and everything, it works for me. And like postpartum, I didn't know postpartum lasted so long. Like moms are saying it didn't go away till the baby was 1, the baby was 4. Like it takes a really long time for like your mental health to like get better after you give birth and everything like that. But I also just think it's about how you discipline yourself as well. Like if you go down if you have like negative thoughts and you just keep on going deeper into them, like you're just going to create so much internal misery for yourself and you're not going to be happy within your own space because you yourself is polluting the environment with negative thoughts and negative energy. So when I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I feel myself getting like into like this whirlpool of like negativity, I always just try to think about things that make me happy or really not put too much energy into it because I really choose to be happy. I prefer to be happy any day. I'll quit any job. I'll do anything for me to be happy.
Absolutely. It's happiness over everything.
Exactly.
You really got me in my whole like headspace because for the first time ever, I was able to get a therapist 2 years ago.
Great.
And, she's moving on to other ventures. Shout out to her. I don't know if she wants me to say her name on the podcast, but therapy has helped me grow so much because I had a habit of, well, I would say overall therapy really helped me find myself. You know what I mean? Like therapy overall just helped me find myself and helped me notice things about myself that I was suppressing and kind of keeping under the rugs. Like therapy definitely helped me like ask those questions, pick it up and really realize it, analyze it and figure it out. And I still have a lot of work to do. But happiness is everything for me. And I always tell my friends, I don't care what y'all do with yourselves as long as y'all are happy and healthy. That's all that matters to me.
And that's so true.
It's mental health over everything.
Yes, that is so true. Literally, like what you like that literally just touched me because I definitely did have the habit of being really hard on myself with decisions that I made. And then people that I love, I'm also like, and I try not to be now, but when I was younger, I was really hard on people for decisions that they made. So it definitely came off as like me judgmental, which is like, typical Virgo vibes. But I learned that the more you judge others and the more that, you just put so much energy into what they're doing, you put put yourself in like you dig a deeper hole for yourself. So shit is not going to work out for you because of how you're acting towards others. Like, what you give out is what you like attract. Yeah. So I've definitely been more on the understanding side and taken out a lot of my like emotional feelings out of like my friends' personal things because I used to do that because I genuinely love my friends. Like I genuinely care about them. And I'm going to put
how you say that?
I'm not about to play with you. I'm not like, I'm going to treat you like how I treat my family. Like when my family is on something or whatever, I get really like passionate and we may go back and forth or whatever, but it's all from a good place. Trust that. But I also know that as long as they're happy, like shit, why it don't matter. As long as you're doing what makes you happy. Like, life is too short for you not to be happy, literally.
Especially now with the world we live in, it's so easy to get unhappy because there's so much evil. There's so much unbalance. That's even a word. That sounded weird when it came out my mouth just now. But
unbalance is the word though.
Okay, I'm about to say, I was like, that sounded weird when it came out my mouth. But yeah, it's just so much. this world is just so offsetted, bringing me into my next question that I actually wanted to talk to you about. In the last week and a half, my dad and I we always conversate. I talk to my dad for hours on end. Shout out to my father. But we were having conversations about, because we have conversations about like a lot of random stuff, but we always fall into like a lot of scientific stuff and a lot of controversial stuff.
I love that.
We recently was discussing the end of the world. Because I don't know if you saw on the news reports and articles, but they said that New York is sinking. And I already knew that New York was sinking. I knew years ago New York was sinking because my brother told me, but we were talking about it. And my dad, he's a map freak. So he loves maps. He studies maps. He has a whole collection of maps. And we were discussing doomsday. And we were looking at pictures of doomsday maps, which are basically like, for those who don't know, they're prediction maps based off of how the world could potentially look if we was to have a global catastrophe. So we were looking at some of the states and stuff that like on the doomsday map, it's underwater. It's really scary, like once you really get into it. But, you know, we were just talking about how like a lot of movies.
Oh my God.
We were talking about how like a lot of movies predict a lot of global catastrophes or possible global catastrophes that could happen if we don't take care of the earth. And, you know, my dad said it best. The earth attracts and reacts. You know what I mean? So the earth is always going to pull things in. And that's the dangerous thing about this planet. People, if you ask me, I don't know if we're the best addition to this planet because we've done so much to it. And, you know, I just wanted to basically get like your overall view and opinion.
Listen, first of all, because my great grandmother said that New York was going to sink a while ago. But before I get into what I was going to say, like how the world is now, how the maps are now, are not how they looked like a million years ago. Like it was more land where there is water now. It's like, it seems like it's this cycle with this planet or whatever that continues to go on. Like, you know, think like water floods and like, you know, land masses are covered by water. And then for a couple thousand years, like, you know, it's really settled. And then water comes and floods again. It's really like a cleansing, literally.
Yeah.
The sun and the moon has been extremely red. Like I never seen them this red before.
Oh, yeah. My friend Lisa, she put it on, shout out to Lisa. She had a Snapchat recording of like the moon. I think it was like a full moon one of these nights and it was red. Just red.
And one day I woke up early in the morning, like something just made me wake up and I looked out the window and the sun is rising and the sun is bloodshot red. Like, I was like, what is going on with that? And now there's this prophecy that, you know, indigenous Indians or whatever else like that, like I'm indigenous Indian. My grandmother told me I was Cherokee. Her father was Blackfoot. Like, we are the people that have been here before the Atlantic slave trade or whatever else like that. So I trust their prophecies because they're basically our ancestors. Like they were misplaced when they taught us about the Trail of Tears in high school and all of that. That was about Black people, copper people being moved throughout what they now call America or whatever else like that. But they predicted that the blue star Kachina and the red star Kachina is going to come. And that's it's called the two twins, I believe, or something like that. And that's a symbol that, like, you know, the end of days are near or whatever. And as above, so below. So like what's going on in the sky, like increasingly affects what's going on in the ground. So that's why like I really stay attentive of like astronomy, astrology and everything like that, because those do have an impact on what goes on down here. Like Mercury retrograde just passed and it was insane. Like the stuff that was going on.
It definitely was.
The stuff that was going down, I was like, this wouldn't really happen on a normal day. And then I'm like, Mercury retrograde. But it's really deep with this whole, and like how the government is going, like how the economy is going, really, really iffy. They talking about crashing. Like a lot of countries is boycotting the American dollar. Like stuff is getting, and history repeats itself. And if we keep on going down, we're going to end up in a Great Depression and another World War. Like we're in that time frame. The Great Depression and the World War II happened around like 1930s, 1940s, and we're on our way there. So it's like, Honestly, I do agree. Like Earth do needs a cleansing. It needs a cleansing. I'm sorry. And a lot of people have been dying, and I definitely know that God is taking people because of what's coming. I know something like literally before I was on this podcast, I was just in a room and with my grandma on the phone with my mom, telling her that I feel like something is coming. Like, I don't know. And that's just how I feel. So you and your dad is spot on. Your dad is a genius for studying maps because studying maps, they even said the maps is upside down. Like how they got the maps now is not really what it is. Like there's different maps everywhere. Some maps show Earth as being a firmament or whatever, like under a firmament, and it's like a circular, it's just circle. It's not like how the map would usually look. And a lot of people that believe in the Bible, like it literally says in the Bible that we're under a firmament. Like how everything is here is really more deeper and really like science fiction vibes more than what they try to show it. Like what they try to show is I really think is real crazier than what we expect. How the nature of our reality. Like they really try to like, water it down. Like they try to sugarcoat it.
Really bring everything to the surface.
Yes, but it's really deeper. Like the nature of our reality is really deeper, which is why I understand the whole end of the world vibe thing, like the whole like us needing a cleanse, because we do. So
I've spoke to people who like don't want like them or their like loved ones to actually like be here to endure it, but at the same time they're not against it. They're not against it at all. They kind of feel like it's a matter of time. Some people that I spoke to, you're right about us already being in the predicament of everything going on in the environment because climate change, and a lot of people aren't talking about it.
My opinion on climate change is basically the places that were cold are now turning hot, and the places that are hot are now turning cold. It's like a pole shift or whatever else like that. On top of this, Earth goes through natural cycles. Like, I don't understand why they're not trying to address this part. And I really think it's because it's inconvenience to us that they're really trying to downplay this. But our impact that we did is not like Earth has been through this before, basically, where the Earth heats up a lot. And like naturally, this is a tropical environment. Like everybody has to remember Antarctica, Africa was all connected. It was all like, Pangea. It was under one
whole land, one whole piece of land,
Yes, everything was like connected, and it was more of a tropical environment. Like to me, in my opinion, personally, the coldness and everything it's not supposed to be that way. It did not originally start off like that. It was very much tropical, and that's what it's returning to now. That's why like we got the threat of Antarctica melting, and that's why that flood is definitely going to happen. Because Antarctica,
I think that we are like the Earth is trying to go back into how it originally.
Yes. The Earth has cycles. It's like it heats up and then it cools down. Like everything is on a cycle. Cycles is like literally what runs our reality. So you just got to be in tune with them, and then you'll understand they're really like over exaggerating climate change. We don't have no control over it, to be honest. It's nothing that they can do. They are trying to control it, actually, like with weather modification, the lines that you see in the sky, they're trying to control climate change. They're trying to control the climate. They already been controlling it. Like it's no trying to. It's weather modification. They do this every day. When the sun is out and you see like a smog over the sun, like it's like a faint layer of clouds over the sun, those are not real clouds. I always used to question what them planes were leaving lines in the sky when I were younger. And now I finally know the answer. So on really hot days, you'll see them doing that. And it's because the sun is heating up, and like, what's going on right now is so deep. Like we are getting a lot of people are getting like awakened. People are like spiritually ascending, and that's because of the sun. The sun is heating up, the sky, everything is like, it's just how everything is unfolding right now is really, really interesting. We are in really interesting times. Like
you said a lot, but I know what you mean because there's a lot going on.
Yes.
Growing up, I noticed that winters got warmer and warmer. I don't know about you, but I love me some snow. I'm a winter baby. So my birthday's in winter. So to not really have like a shred of snow in the city this year really like baffled me, even when we had like those 2 minor snowstorms. But where my friend is in California, where it never snowed before, she's getting snowstorms, you name it. Like a few times when I FaceTimed her, she had a coat on. I'm like, aren't you in California? I was like, what are you doing? She was like, what do you mean? It's been brick over here. I was like, are you kidding me? She told me like one day when it was 80 over here, it was like 40 degrees out there. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like the reverse is crazy.
Douglas, this is confirmation. That is confirmation. People be like, oh, you need research, you need facts, you need information. Like, all
Well,
you
it's
really
right there. You know what I mean? It's
really
right there.
it's clear as day. Like, it's a pole shift happening. Where it's cold at is where it's going to be hot, and where it's hot, it's going to be cold. Like, that's what's coming.
I hope that again, we are long gone by the time anything really starts to like come about. But I do also hope that we have the opportunity to inform younger generations and stuff of what's to come, just so
Yes,
no matter where you live, no matter who you are, because especially with us being in the projects, people gonna think what we're talking about right now is a little corny, you know what I mean? But it's not, because it affects our environment, and it's specifically our neighborhood. Specifically, I can't even give specifics because I don't want people to find out exactly where we live, but
this is the problem with people in our neighborhood and like ignorant people in general, is that they do not take, like, there's a time for play and there's a time to get serious, okay? Like, all of this, us working and all of that stuff, I'm not going to say that's not serious, but that does not hold as much weight as the environment potentially like collapsing on you. Like, your whole city is in the threat of sinking. That is a bigger reality than you having to go to work today. So this is when it's like, wake up to like your environment and what's going on around you, and you'll see that, like, you have to, like, we really have to start mentally preparing and everything goes like that. But as far as like, people want to ignore that, and this is why people get caught off guard and be stranded and don't know what to do. Like it's a time for play and it's a time to get serious. And if you have a mission here, you're gonna want to survive. If you came here with a mission, like you got a soul's purpose, you have goals, you're gonna figure out a way to survive, because you have goals that you're not finishing until you leave. And if you don't have that determination, then you should leave.
all facts.
All facts.
All facts.
My question was, like, how would you tell people to mentally prepare for a time period like this? Like, your audience, how would you tell them to like mentally prepare for this? That is a great question.
That's a great question. Just want to give me one quick minute too, because I'm trying to think about it. Like I said, it's difficult because we contribute to it, all of us. We contribute to, in many ways, no matter what type of human being you are, we contribute to, the downfall to this planet just by the stuff we do every day, just by our everyday lifestyles. Like I said, my dad and I were talking about it, and climate change is the beginning of it,
Yep.
that we're seeing now happening with the weather and stuff. Like, it was even hard to tell whether or not we even had a spring for real. Like, all of those are signs. So if I had to say one thing to just like my fans, and one thing that I'll probably like tell my grandkids, my kids, grandkids, future children, younger generation, is just to I want to say watch the news, but watch the news with perspective. Because even the news, my dad always says this, all news is old news. It's news, it's stuff that was said before. For example, with New York sinking, I've been knew about it without having to watch the news. So I would say watch the news to keep abreast of what's currently going on, but watch it with perspective, because the news doesn't always tell the truth. Just be more in tune with your environment. I would just say to pay attention to signs. Like, I guess I would just offer verbal tips overall, just verbal tips on paying attention to nature. But not for nothing, I don't think I'll be able to answer your question fully, because I think it's something that has to be done with time. Because like I said, we are a part of the problem as well. So I feel like once I learn what I could do to also make my environment better, I would have more things to say for my future generation and stuff to come, So I would say to partially answer your question, notice signs, pick up on things, put two and two together, pick sense from nonsense, watch the news with perspective. And yeah.
Do you mind if my baby comes in this?
Of course I do.
because I
Of
have to
course
get
I
her.
do. Can I just
Oh,
say, your
mamas.
baby is gorgeous by the
Thank you
way.
so much.
How old?
She's 5 months.
Oh my God. What is her name?
Her name is Yamaya.
Yamaya. Okay. Hi.
Yes, this is my love.
That's
My
so cool. Oh my God.
uh,
He is so cute.
thank you so much.
I'm living for this. It's Black excellence for me.
Yeah. Oh
Oh
my God.
my
I'm
God.
like inspired, honestly. Like inspired by her whole existence. She just makes me want to go 10 times harder. So
Of course. Oh my God. Can I just say I'm obsessed right now? You don't know. You don't understand. I love babies. Like,
yes. Oh my God.
she just caught my whole, like, so she is beautiful.
Thank
Janera, she is
you.
beautiful. Oh my God. So small. And I'm so glad that she got a mom like you to be taught with all this knowledge. I know she's going to be hooked up with the knowledge. I think
Oh,
that could be my next question. What is your plans for your child? What do you want to do for
oh,
your daughter? Like, what do you want to teach her? What do you want her to figure out and stuff as time goes on?
so I know my purpose here, one of my purposes here is to break generational curses. So how I want to raise her is completely different from how I was raised. I had a great childhood. Like I would not knock my childhood at all. I had a great childhood, but there's just certain things that my parents didn't learn until like, later on that now that I know I can teach her right away. So I'm just like, I want to teach her basically how to love yourself, how to be grounded in yourself, how to not need no validation from anybody else, and how to ultimately just be you. Because it's really hard to like, when you get on social media, like once, like, you get on social media and everything like that, it's like you have all of this information coming to you and you see people doing different things and it's like people start having identity problems on social media. It's just a lot that goes down. But
Get caught in that web. And sorry to interrupt you, but Melanie Martinez, alternative singer I listen to, she got a song out on her new album called Spiderweb, and it's about the internet. And it's about how, like, when we go on the internet, we're like people getting sucked into this big spider web that we're stuck in and we don't realize it. That's what the song is like metaphorically talking about. Shout out to Melanie Martinez. And I'm gonna say it for the 100th time, stream portals. But continue with what you were saying.
It's just so much like, oh my God, I don't want her to be really like obsessed and into the system mainly. Like the system is like, just don't live for the system to me. Like going to work and everything like that is good, but this system is really corrupt. Bless you, especially towards our color. Like it's really, and like growing up our color, there, especially as a woman, there's just certain things that you just have to understand that this system, like I seen a picture and it was a picture of like, a white person running and a black person running, but the black person had so many like obstacles that they had to get through to get to their destination. And that's what this system is like. So most importantly, I'm going to teach her not to be engrossed in the system, but know how to play the game. Like this is a game. And this is exactly why I'm like, at this point, I don't like, we are raised to think, oh, do money grow on trees? Like money is like so hard to get and everything like that. And money is really not that hard to get. Like all you need to do is commit yourself to something, have an idea, have a plan, and go with it. And consistency is key. Like, top designers, like, what's his name? Karl Lagerfeld or whatever.
Yeah.
He started like designing like in his 40s or whatever. Like that's when he started becoming successful. Success do not happen overnight, but if you have something you want, stay consistent. And that's one of the ways that you could win in this system. That's something I'm going to teach her. And money management is really important to me because my family, like I come from a family who did not have a lot of money, and I really want to change that aspect. Like I'm tired of this whole, oh, we don't have it, like we need this, we need that. Like I do not want that for her. I don't want that for her kid. I don't want that for anybody in my, I don't want that for nobody, honestly. I don't want anybody to struggle. Struggle teaches you, but I definitely feel that aim for the best, aim for money, like aim for the top. But you got to know how to manage your money. So that's something else I'll teach her, how to like function in the system and just how to read in between the lines. Like everything that that I want to teach her will just like slowly like up come to me. There's new things that I'm learning every day too. So it's just a lot. It's a lot of pressure being a mom.
The one thing that I see in you right now, especially, just being a mom, is strength. And I know that your daughter is going to be fed so much. So I don't think words itself could even describe the words of knowledge and
Yeah.
encouragement and love that you are going to give her. I see it. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I see it. It's like a book ready to unfold, ready to
Yeah.
basically write itself, to be honest. So I just
I
wanted
just,
to say that, like, that's definitely what I see in you. I also didn't come from, a rich family, but my mom, and I was telling my dad this too, and it almost made me emotional because the biggest, especially with me having a brother who is mentally challenged, the key word for my entire family, no matter how tight money gets, and it was something that I'm so glad that my mom had the time to teach us, and that's teamwork. She always, always, always emphasized how important teamwork was and just how important sharing was.
yes.
Sharing with the people you love, sharing with the people that helps you, never biting the spoon that feeds you. And I was thinking about it because one day we was really tight on cash. And she took me, my brother, and my sister out. We was downtown. We was running errands. We had to do a lot of business work. And
Mhm.
we didn't have no money like that. My sister was short on cash, but my brother and I, we had just like wanted a donut because we saw a donut stand. And my sister brought me and my brother to this donut stand, and we all split a donut and like shared coffee. And although it doesn't seem that big, like my sister was solely getting a donut like for herself. Like
Mhm.
we had already ate. We just wanted a donut to have the donut. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And like it was that, and even though that moment wasn't that big, it was big for me because it showed that no matter what goes on, like my mother's values still remain in us. And she was doing her own thing when we were splitting the donut and stuff. But it just goes to show you how her values have really implemented us. I mean,
Oh,
sorry, how her values were really implemented in us and in our lives to the point where we don't put nothing above one another. You know,
oh,
and
I love that.
I was telling my dad this on the phone a couple of days ago because it really touched my heart. Like we're really big on sharing in this family and we're really big on being a team. As dysfunctional as we are, because we're not perfect in the slightest, but we do love one another. We would die for one another. So,
That
I feel like that same love that you giving your daughter, it's inevitable. She's
and
gonna.
that love that you're feeling is unconditional love. Like that is to me what true love is. It's unconditional love, being there and just loving that person in any condition that they're in. And I just like what your mom did was so lighthearted because I really value that. I do the same like for my siblings. Like if I'm eating and I know that they want my food, I'll share with them. Like I'm very generous and I just love that about me. But at the same time, like people could take advantage. But it's like I really am so kind-hearted and like literally I think about everybody. Like I have this habit of thinking about everybody before I think about myself. And like now being a mom is really hard for me to balance like putting my daughter first and also putting me first. Like me and her are basically in the same place. But if I put her first too much, then I could lose myself. And if I put myself to like, I definitely would never like put myself before her. But you also have to have that balance as a mom because like when you have kids, you're so dedicated to them, like you're committed to them. It's like your world revolves around them, and it does. But it's like you also do matter. And a lot of people like forgot, like a lot of moms, parents, they forget about that. They forget that they also matter. And it's like, but it's just so beautiful the love that your mom has and the love that my mom, like just in general, she sounds like or sound like, a great person, like a lighthearted individual.
And
I love people like that.
you want to know something? I've noticed because so much of her friends have been like helping us out since she passed. And although we came into some obstacles, child, I'm now getting myself together because I had to
Mhm.
find work. It was a whole thing.
Yeah.
We are still undergoing a lot of challenges. but we're
Right.
still here. We're still able to do something.
Right.
My mom was always able to do something.
Right.
If best believe it, we were showing food. But I also thought that that was just a mom and a black mom magical thing, because I feel like black moms will always find a way to make something out of nothing.
Right.
Just like your daughter's your product.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're products of her, so we have that strength. We have
Right.
resilience. We have that mindset to make it. We have that mindset to survive like
Right.
human beings, like beings on this planet. We will
Yeah.
always find a way to survive. I'm not even saying this for the podcast. This is the first time I'm really starting to like kind of like talk about my mom
Mm-hmm.
and kind of like focus a lot on the positives, because lately it's really just been huge feelings of missing her. But like when I think about stuff like this, it gives me hope, and it gives my family hope.
And it feels warm, like with like grief, because I also lost my aunt last year,
Yeah,
and it completely caught me off guard. Like I had seen her dead and everything. Like it completely caught me off guard. But there was a sense of like it's always for me going to be a comforting feeling when someone close to me dies, because I celebrate their life. Like that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to celebrate their life and who they were and how they made you feel, and the good times and the bad. Like all of that lives on forever in you. Like yes, you lost a person, but it would hurt more to lose the memories. Like, at least you have the memories for years to come, like ages, and their impact on you was so strong that even that they're gone, you're still going to live as if like they're around, because their impact of them, like like what they taught you, what they helped you with, all of that made you who you are today. Like who
yeah,
your mother, who she is why you are the way you are, and you're
yeah,
going to live with that forever. And if you choose to have kids or whoever you be with in the future, they're going to also feel that, and it's just going to be passed down. So
yeah,
when people pass on, I really just try to like for to me they live on forever in me. Anytime I want to see my aunt, I can just go in my head and look at her, like see her, remember her, like that. I'm Death is really like hard to deal with, but I'm so thankful that we at least have that we at least have them happy memories of them and everything else like that, because it would be so much harder to like deal with them gone if you like didn't have memories, or it would be crazy. Or actually, would it be easier to deal with them if you didn't have memories? But
yeah.
either way, memories are still such a beautiful thing. I love them.
I did also find a snack in just talking to her, literally, because it was something you even told me when she passed. Because I called you, you was with Claudia. Shout out to Claudia. I say this every episode. But you was with Claudia, and you basically, just gave me your just like basically was like, I'm sorry for your loss, but
Yeah.
you reminded me that she is still here. And I don't think I've ever told anybody on this podcast before. Janera was really one of those people that really reminded me that my mom was still here, that I could still talk to her, that she's still watching what's going on. Her spirit is still living,
He is.
still living.
And how you could go about this too, because like with my daughter, like people say, oh, it's like an all day job to be with your kids. In my mind, it's not a job. Like I am committed to her. Like even on a spiritual level, I am committed to her. I will never, ever, ever not be with her. Like literally, you literally have your mother's blood flowing through you. That same blood that's flowing through you was in her. Like, you have that instant connection. Like it's an instant connection from like the time you were conceived. So it's like there's never going to be a time where she's not with you, and she's going to be a great like help for you, a great ally for you on the spirit side. So when you have a time period of your life, things is going right, you're getting signs and you're protected. That could be your mother, that could be any ancestor that, yes, they're not here in this reality, but in a physical realm, or I mean in a spiritual realm, they're there with you. Like no matter if you were connected to them like through blood or whatever, they're always going to be with you, and it could be a potential spirit guide. Like your mother is going to forever be like, that's your mother. That like literally that's why it really hurts when like you lose your mind. Like I still have mine, but like I said, my aunt, when I lost her last year and seeing the impact that it had on my cousins, like I just started appreciating my mom so much more, which is why I think it's pointless to hold things against your parents, because you only get one set of parents, despite whatever, y'all go through or whatever. I'm just at least grateful that, they planned, like they raised me. Having a baby is like really fucking hard. Like it's hard.
I know, child. I know.
Raising a baby is hard. So to see like you're doing so great for yourself, and like your mother would be like astonishingly proud. And for me, as now a new parent, that's the days like I cannot wait to see like this little person, like her will one day be like so astonishing like you. And that's what makes parenting all worth it. You're raising the next generation. Like you're raising, like it's really deep with having children. It's like really deep as hell.
I see growth within you, just like from last season on. Like what's the same as your goals. That's what I realized with you.
Yes.
Like from season 1 to now, it's still that same goals. You still want to elevate yourself. You still want to, and you're going to, let me not say want to, you're going to, right? You're big on manifestation here, but
Yeah.
You're still on that road of elevating yourself more and more and more every single day, every single week. But I noticed that just having a kid, like seeing you right now with a child, like, and it's been a year since you joined my podcast.
Yeah.
Like to see you right now with a kid is monumental. But you know what I noticed, what's changed? I think your determination, your strength, your resilience, and your need to ground yourself has increased.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was always high, but it's doubled. You know what I mean? It's triple because you understand the significance of having a child.
Yes.
I wanted to close out by asking you one more question, and if you have one for me, that's cool. But I wanted to know, what do you want to say to first of all, thank you for getting onto the grief topic with me, because I did want to touch that whole grief thing. I can't even express how much, like the reason why I really like sat quiet throughout the entire time was because I was really recepting what you're saying. Because although we're talking about the whole spiritual practices and stuff, nothing trumps her physically being here. And I think that is what I'm starting to get used to, especially in the last couple of months. Like her passing really started to set in for me because I was in denial for a minute. And her passing really, and it's still shocking because it's about to be a year, but everything's really starting to set in for me. And I realized that those same foundations that my mom laid for me, I now have to use it and create it for myself. So you really just touched me with that.
Feel your mother, like feel her. Remember what it's like to feel her presence and make it feel like she's standing in front of you right now. Like that's what that can really help.
That's how I really try to go about my day to day. I really, really do. What do you want to say to young Janera?
Oh, that is a great question. Oh my God. I would love to say to her that you are enough, you are beautiful, and you do not have to be like anybody else. You are enough. You who you are, like, be you and just express yourself to the fullest and just be you. Like just simple as that. You are good who you are, you're great where you are, and you don't have to please others. Like, you don't have to put yourself on the back burner. Like you're great. You are just great at who you are. Because I really wish somebody would really explain that to me, because I feel like that's when I started having an identity crisis. Like it was crazy. I always wanted to be like something different. And if this person had that, I wanted that, or I wanted to be like this. And it was just really like, I didn't know who I was, and I was very much lost. That's what it was. And that's exactly what I would say to myself. And for her, I'm going to be that for her. Like she's not going to she's going to be reminded every day that she's enough. She's going to be encouraged and uplifted, because children need that. So
absolutely.
What do you see yourself accomplishing in the next year?
I see improvements vocally. In the next year, I see myself more financially stable. I see these locks more grown out and amazing.
Yeah.
I see myself and I pray to see myself more grounded. I think overall, and I think most importantly, circling back to what we talked about in the beginning, more happy.
Yes.
Because I could sit here and tell you many things, you know, like, yes, I'm always going to manifest notoriety, but I know that's coming for me. I know that my destiny is already laid out. I know my story is already laid out. It's just a matter of me following it. I would say the most important thing is I just want to be more happy. I just want to be more happy. And I think
Yeah.
the more happier I am, the more grounded I'll be.
Hope to be around you more. So I'll definitely be.
Of course. I also have to see your daughter in person. Oh
Yes.
my God, this is
No,
everything. I'm so glad she was able to be on the podcast too.
I love seeing your sister. Like she was people used to annoy the hell out of me during my pregnancy, but
Yeah.
like her, I liked her energy. I really did. I was
Shout
like,
out to Suki. She on the phone, but she
oh yeah,
us.
I can't wait for y'all to meet her. Yes.
Of course, Janera. I ain't gonna keep you on here for longer because I know you gotta attend to your motherly duties,
Yes.
and my sister got a lot of stuff to do here. But I did want to say again, thank you so much for coming on
Anytime.
this podcast. You're definitely coming back on here again. So definitely y'all stay tuned because we definitely gonna continue our topics and everything.
Yes.
I always get into things with Janera. Like it's
Right.
this you being a guest on my podcast, we always seem to get into the nitty-gritty of just so much stuff, and I love it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Really,
Yes.
really fun.
Thank
But
you so
you're welcome. All right, you guys, stay tuned. And I'm just looking forward to, like I said, just sharing so much more of my art, more of my creativity on this platform. Again, thank you so much, you guys. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. And that's it.
Bye.